About a month ago, I've decided that it's about dang time for me to stop playing small and start making a push to get my business to 7 figures and beyond. And the reason why I am doing this video is because I want to honor the commitment I'm making to myself by documenting my journey and building this business to 7 figures in public. With it being said, this is a promise that I'm going to make to myself as well as anybody who's watching this video. First things first, I'm going to share the good, the bad, and the ugly along this journey. And the reason why I think that's the most important point is because there's just too many, in my opinion, business gurus and business YouTubers out there who's giving out this false facade that scaling a 7-figure business is all rainbows and sunshine and you can just do it in your sleep. And as long as you buy the courses, you'll be able to do this in 30 days and so forth. But having been in business for quite a few years, I know that is not the case. And I want to be able to shine a light on what building a business actually looks and feels like, alongside with the good and bad that comes along the way. Secondly, if I do fall flat on my face, I'm going to do my very best to extract lessons from those failures. And the reason why I say it is because whilst winning is important, what's even more important in my opinion would be my ability to extract lessons from failure so that failure can simply be feedback rather than actual losses. Not only that, by me sharing these lessons to you as well, it is my hope that you guys can also learn it and find value from these lessons without having to pay the price that I did from learning it the hard way. Promise number 3, not only am I going to share with you the strategy and plans that I'll be implementing along the way to create progress, but most importantly, I'm going to share with you the principles and decision-making process that my plans and strategy are built upon. Last but not least, I'll be reporting back by filming a video and uploading it every single week. So before I dive in and talk about the plan that I'll be implementing throughout the remainder of Q1 2025, allow me to take a moment to introduce myself and share with you how I got here in the first place. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Young. I'm born and raised in Hong Kong. I am currently 29 and a half years old. And growing up in a middle-class family background, I didn't really have any exposure or awareness to entrepreneurship. In fact, when I graduated from high school and going into college, I had 3 career choices: doctor, lawyer, or a failure. And since I managed to get good grades, I got into one of the world's top veterinary schools and studied veterinary medicine and graduated to work as a veterinary surgeon. But 3 years into my degree, during my clinical years, I started reading books like Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and eventually The 4-Hour Workweek. And since I was already pretty obsessed with personal development, I just pulled the trigger and invested my scholarship money into building my first business, which was Amazon FBA. And back then, I only had one dream: to one day travel around the world, live the 4-hour work week, and earn $10,000 per month, whilst maybe be a vet if I want to after I graduate. And guess what? Rather than working 4 hours per week and getting rich in the next 9 days, I became super burnt out. I was balancing between my work placements, my studies, and also building a business and also managing a basketball team. And back then I got so burnt out that I almost killed myself. I was living off of motivational videos, caffeine, and sleeping maybe 5 or 6 hours on average per night, sometimes even less. And one day it just got so bad that I just dozed off at a wheel while driving back home on the M25 highway going 70, 80 miles per hour. And luckily, nobody got hurt. I didn't kill myself. My car fortunately just rolled to the side of the driveway. But it was that moment that I know that I screwed up big time and I almost lost everything. And in my pursuit for high achievement and freedom, I basically sacrificed all of my freedom back then, all of my well-being, and almost got put out of the game permanently. And that is what drove me to pendulum swing into learning everything that's got to do with processes, operations, productivity, and basically all the secrets that I want to learn, and all the secrets around how to disassociate the amount of output, progress, income, and impact you can create away from your time and your efforts. That brought me to 2018, where I graduated college and was growing my business pretty well, whilst balancing my full-time job as a vet surgeon. But then one fateful Thanksgiving evening, my business ran out of stock before I can restock it. And I just lost all the rankings that I had in around my product in Amazon. And I was forced to shut down the business. And my mentor back then told me to start this thing called a coaching business, which I had no idea what it was about back then, back in 2019. And thanks to him being an absolute master at NLP, persuasion, and human psychology, he got me to start this coaching business with me helping fellow entrepreneurs on productivity and processes. And I started off with super cheap courses, followed by live group training, followed by taking one-on-one clients. And my business really started getting traction when COVID hit back in 2020. And that's where I was able to replace my income comfortably, quit my job as a vet practicing in the UK, and became a full-time entrepreneur and moved back to Hong Kong right in the middle of COVID in July 2020, which was quite an adventure by itself. And as my business grew, so did the caliber of my clients. And I started seeing this pattern where these established, successful, yet very busy entrepreneurs keeps on wanting to delegate and create leverage with their time rather than become more productive themselves because they are kind of maxed out and already pretty high-performing, disciplined individuals. And that is what led me to 3 years ago bolt on a virtual assistant agency model onto my coaching business, which leads to the current model that my business is operating on right now, which is a consulting agency that helps entrepreneurs to get time back and create leverage with a combination of processes, operations, and productivity training alongside with virtual assistant services. So this brings me to where I'm at, and my consulting agency right now is doing around 40 to 50,000 per month. So that means I'm around halfway there, and there's a 40 to 50,000 per month gap that I gotta close in order to hit a 7-figure run rate. So with it being said, let's talk about the plan that I'll be implementing throughout the rest of Q1 2025 to get one step closer to my 7-figure target. And for the next 10-ish weeks, I'm only going to be focusing on 3 priorities. And the reason why is because I'm a true believer that simplicity scales and complexity fails. And the entrepreneur who focuses on depth will always grow higher than the entrepreneur who focuses on width. So the first thing that I'll be prioritizing will be to optimize client experience. And the reason why is because in order for my business to scale in a way that's healthy and sustainable, I must prioritize keeping clients over getting clients. If you think about it, it's pretty stressful to churn and burn your way to a 7-figure business. And I do value my well-being after everything that's happened, and I do want to grow this business whilst living a life by design. So in terms of optimizing client experience, we'll be introducing new trainings for our VAs to become AI powered so that they can offload the minutiae from our clients' plate in a more effective and more leveraged manner. So that's the first thing that I'll be focusing on to optimize client experience. And the second thing would be to also increase my level of touch points to my clients, because not only am I trained a VA to work with my clients, but I'm also working with the clients directly to help them scale their businesses in a way that is healthy from an operational and process standpoint. So these were the 2 main things that I'll be doing to optimize client experience. And now for my second priority, I'll be hiring an HR manager. The reason why is because we only hire 1 out of 158.5 applicants right now. And in order for me to be able to onboard A-player VAs in dozens every single month for our clients, it'll be impossible for me to screen thousands upon thousands of applications and qualify every single one of them and do interviews while growing my business all by myself. So with it being said, hiring this HR manager will be pivotal in my ability to meet client demands without losing quality when it comes to the performance and the quality of the VAs that we onboard to our clients. Last but not least, my third priority is to double down on branding and educational content. And the reason why is because whilst you can attract qualified leads through advertising, copywriting, and direct response marketing, in my opinion, if you want to work with dream clients, you must nurture them through your values, your content, and your brand. And this is especially true for my business. And the reason why is because there's so little training and information out there teaching entrepreneurs on how to delegate effectively and strategically create leverage with time. And this leading to a lot of entrepreneurs who want to delegate to just go ahead and hire a VA themselves or recruit from a VA recruitment service. And when the VA comes on board, you found yourself becoming the micromanager, and your optimistic hire just ends up in a disastrous fire. So speaking as someone with a history of burnout and someone who has fallen victim to the hustle culture, I do want to take up this moral obligation to pay forward and reach as many entrepreneurs as possible, and make sure that I can educate as many of them as possible the fact that you can definitely grow a business without sacrificing what matters most in life. And you can definitely do that with virtual assistants as long as you also have the right skills to show up as a leader who can delegate and create leverage strategically, compassionately, and effectively. So this is my plan, and hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week.